Good evening. We're about to get our third Prime Minister. Yes, Rishi Sunak will become our Prime Minister formally tomorrow. Our first Goldman Sachs former employee as Prime Minister, a globalist, if ever I saw one. But it was the Boris Johnson withdrawal last night that was so interesting. He claimed to have had 102 supporters, and you can believe that if you want to. I have to say I'm somewhat sceptical on the number. He then issued a statement, a 292-word statement, in which he used I 27 times and national interest just once. But did he, like the grand old Duke of York, march them up to the top of the hill and march them back down again? Well, Michael Fabricant, the Conservative Member of Parliament for Lichfield, was on GBNews earlier today and was none too happy.
Bitterly disappointed, and I know that a number of people in his team not only feel disappointed, they feel betrayed, if I'm honest with you. They feel they've been led to the top of a hill, fighting for him, got that 100, went over 100, and now he stood down. Now, I understand his reasons, but this is the second time this has happened.
Yeah.
It happened in 2015.
Yeah.
And it might be hasta la vista, baby, but I don't know how many people would support him a third time round, if I'm honest. It's a great shame.
Well, that was it. You see, Boris out, and even his own supporters, the most ardent supporters, not happy. So what do we make? What do we think of Rishi Sunak? Well, one thing's for certain, he's clever, he's well educated, he's competent, he's calm, he's decent. All of those qualities apply. He is just 42 years old. He does not have a great experience of life, but he worked for Goldman Sachs and he worked for a hedge fund. And he is, of course, incredibly rich. He and his wife valued at about 700 million. Now, we should not dislike people because they happen to have much more money than we do. But I can see the Labour attacks. You know, he spends more heating his swimming pool at a time when people can't afford to heat their houses. But here's the problem, my problem with him. Number one, he genuinely is a globalist. He's put taxes up to the highest in 70 years. But number two, he just doesn't connect. He is dull as hell. See this clip from his acceptance speech today outside Conservative Central Office.
I pledge that I will serve you with integrity and humility, and I will work day in, day out to deliver for the British people.
Well, you know, I mean, surely you've just won the contest because the others have all dropped out. You're about to become the Prime Minister of this country. Is that the best you can do? Read in a wooden way off an auto cue. I mean, goodness gracious me. No passion, no humour, no feeling. And have a look at this sequence of clips of Rishi Sunak out meeting real people, and tell me whether you agree with me. He is incredibly awkward.
I have friends who are aristocrats, I have friends who are upper class, I have friends who are, you know, working class, but I'm not working class, but I mix and match, and then I go to see kids from an inner city state school and tell them, you know, to apply to Oxford and talk to them about people like me.
So I collect Coca-Cola things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm a Coke addict. Total Coke addict. Coca-Cola addict.
Yeah, I was going to say.
The sun has been shining, so much so that someone even said to me the other day, wow, you've got a great tan.
Together,
Scan them for me.
Yeah, I know you want it. Yeah.
We can get over the back. That's that one. And that one. That comes to 31.61.
Perfect, thanks very much.
Bang on. Close enough, I'll let you off.
There you go.
I'll let you off.
Good.
So trying to be a man of the people, but it doesn't really work somehow, does it? He is really, really awkward. And here's the acid test, OK? It's the red wall seats that the Conservatives need to hold if they're going to have a cat's chance in hell of saving the next election. Ask yourself a question. How would Rishi Sunak cope going into a working man's club in Doncaster? Well, let me tell you, I don't think he'd even walk through the door and certainly not be able to hold those people in conversation. He is not going to connect with with the red wall. I think it's goodbye to the red wall with Rishi there in number 10. But give me your thoughts. Farage at gbnews.uk. Maybe you think I'm being unfair, but I think I've probably got the measure of this right.